Is it fair to say that the loudest voices on an issue don't always represent the majority opinions? We talked to Angus Reid President Shachi Kurl about what Canadians actually think about schools having to tell parents about their kids' pronoun changes. Your team, and I'll call up the story here at Angus Reid, has done some polling on one of the stories that I'm not sure that every single person in Canada feels like it's directly relevant to them, but for some reason it really strikes a nerve with a lot of people. Your team asked Canadians if they think that parents should be informed if their kids want to change their pronouns. Why don't we get into this?
Let's get into it. So here's the deal. We didn't start this fire. You can take it up with Blaine Higgs.
Yeah.
For that policy out of New Brunswick that then just started cascading from province to province. Then it was Saskatchewan, then Ontario starts talking about doing it. What we found actually was not a lot of variance either way. We found that, first of all, the supposition or the argument that parents should neither be informed nor have to give consent, basically that parents should be cut out of the loop entirely if a child, if a minor, someone in school wants to change their pronouns. There's the don't tell the parents anything. That is the minority view. It's the minority view in terms of the general population. It's also the minority view in terms of parents. You've then got a consensus, really, a majority who say at least inform the parents, at least tell them what's going on. But people stop short of coming close to a majority on the issue of should parents have to give consent. Tell the parents, yes. Require consent, no. And the only place that you see even up to half of people saying that consent should be required, and you've pulled up the graph there, is in Saskatchewan. That's the only place where we see it at a high water mark, and then additionally Manitoba at about the same level. Everywhere else, it's only about a plurality, only about 2 and 5, or between 40 and 50% who say parents should have to give permission or consent. Everybody else stops well short of that. But the issue of information, tell the parents what's going on. There's not a lot of argument on that one.
No, I think that's me. I think that's where I land on this one. Tell the parents, obviously, but don't require consent.
Have there been situations wherein children may be feeling unsafe, feeling vulnerable, feeling like they need support, feeling like the option that they have is to not tell their parents what's going on in terms of their gender identity and not feeling safe at school? All of those things are true. But the stoking of the fire on this, the real oxygen to the flame or the propane on the barbecue, or I don't use whatever analogy you want, that's been politicians who've said, let's do, tiringly, from my perspective, let's do what they're doing in the States. Let's do what they've been doing in Great Britain, where the culture wars are raging. Let's bring them to Canada and watch it burn. Let us bring these issues to the forefront in a way that is already polarizing and confrontational, and watch everyone go nuts. These are the types of issues that stoke discourse in a really impassioned way, but impassioned is almost like an understatement for the kinds of reactions that we get. Again, not necessarily by people who have a personal stake in the issue, but by those who just, it's like stick that finger in an electric socket and let's all just lose our minds over these types of issues rather than having rational conversations.